Hello, I'm Chris Lopadoulos with Anastasiopoulos. This is Man-Free World, and that portal is still open. It needs to be closed. And today I'm going to be showing you a small clip about Joe Rogan. I'm going to be doing a... Oh, I got the wrong camera. There we go. I'm going to be showing a clip of Joe Rogan giving me a headlock in the back behind the comedy store in Hollywood. We're near Hollywood. I was out there working on this movie called American Drug War, which was released in 2006. It was on Netflix for a while. It might still be. And here I am. I am listed as a cinematographer. I also did some work for Joe at Sacred Cow on the title, on one of the titles, the title and ending sequence for one of his comedy specials. And here I am listed in the IMDb database. So I actually was out there working with him. That might not look like me in this video, but
dude, we're coming into a different age.
Where's the jetpacks?
Oh, there's jetpacks.
So this is almost 20 years ago now.
A jetpack. Otherwise, this is a lot of vapor talk.
Dude, you can still come on now.
There's a lot of vapor talk until I get
You've
a jetpack.
seen the biotechnology and the computer technology coming along, so you will be able to extend your lifespan as long as you'd like.
Right. So we're saying this is not going to take place necessarily if we open up.
So I'm getting in an argument. We've been talking all day. I was working with him on this film, interviewing him at his house and stuff. And he was being cool all day and was just chilling out and whatever. And so this was after or before he was on stage. It might have been after he was on stage, or he's about to go on stage, right before this, or later on before this. So we're in the back of the event place there, the comedy store, and we just smoked some weed and feeling loose, whatever. And he starts going off, and I challenged him a little bit on the immigration, and he was really touchy about this.
All the borders, and everyone comes over here. We have crazy civil disobedience and war in America because there's people who have lived a privileged life all their life, and all of a sudden people are swarming in by the millions. Well, you know what it'd be like if the borders opened up? It would be chaos.
But
he's right.
Borders are already open, Joe.
But they're not really open.
Yes, they are. Anyone that wants to come into this country can come into this country anytime they want.
So I was telling him then that the border is open. That people just walk across it all the time, and it was like not that back then. It wasn't that big a deal, like it is now. I mean, it was getting bad back then, and Joe just didn't know.
You have to have a visa.
No, you don't. You can walk across the border.
You don't have to have some sort of a fucking passport to come.
No, if you fly in, yes, legally. It wasn't computing to show that there's people could just walk over. So I think I embarrassed him a little bit, and I should have done that. That was bad. I should not have. I should have said, "Okay, that's how you feel." That's what I do today. I would never do this today. No, I would never. I'd be like, okay, whatever. I mean, I'll engage on the YouTube because it's like nobody cares. Like they just turn it off. They don't like it. But in public, I'm always like super not confrontational at all.
No, America?
No.
You fly in from Taiwan. You can just fly in with no.
Well, there's flying in, but there's walking across the border also.
How you gonna walk from Taiwan?
Well, you fly to Mexico, or you fly to Canada, or you walk across to Alaska. There's all kinds of ways to get.
There's a border patrol in Mexico. They catch people every day.
But they cannot get everybody.
Yeah, but there's millions of people they're gonna fucking do something about.
But that's only because the scarcity thing. Once the scarcity thing is over.
This guy's getting super uncomfortable. What I'm trying to talk about here is the only reason these people are coming here is for a better life because of the scarcity issues. Because these scarce, I in the back of that time, I was thinking of a post-scarcity world, what they call a post-scarcity world now, where there'd be so much abundance that it doesn't really matter where you go, and that this immigration thing would just be a limited time thing. We'd have these 3D printer technology would be a lot more advanced, and that we wouldn't have as much of the problems, but. That wasn't the reason. I thought it was an abundance reason. It's like, no, that's not the reason why they're bringing people in. It's for this other purpose. They need a new slave class, and they don't give a shit about abundance.
Going on right now in open borders. It's not true. It's not open. People can't just fly in
Sure they can.
and unchecked
Yes,
as much
they
as
do
they
every
want.
day.
They can't. You
They
can't
do.
just fly in and immigrate here
They
from
do.
Japan right
They
now.
do. They do.
You have to.
Okay. I was trying to let him know that it is possible for people to come to the United States if they fly into Mexico, not Canada so much, although you could probably do it there too. Or at least back then you definitely could. Now it's a little harder. I mean, Mexico is not hard. You can fly in from another country into Mexico and then just walk across the border and enter the country. And he was like, "No, you can't. You have to have this and that." It's like, "No, you don't. What are you talking about, dude?"
Have papers.
You don't have to have papers.
You don't have to have a passport to land in America.
There are literally hundreds of.
he's like, "You don't need that. How is it possible?" I was trying to let him know, like, there are people that break rules that live in the Los Angeles. Like that Los Angeles used to be Mexico. It's like, it's kind of porous, dude. So what are you talking about?
You have to have a passport to fly from another country to America.
If you want to fly in,
that's ridiculous.
If you want to fly in through all the,
it's very difficult.
He keeps interrupting me because he doesn't want me to keep. He doesn't want me to make the point. So this is part is like, oh, we're interrupting each other a lot. Okay, I guess that's how we're gonna do it.
Listen to anything you have.
And that was my mistake, right? I had actually gone earlier that day to the jiu-jitsu gym that he was going at. Like, did a little bit of filming there for this show for that American Drug War movie, and so I got to know him a little bit in this trip, not very much, but I mean, he's all right guy. He just doesn't like to be wrong. That's for sure. And back then, I guess I got an area that he just wasn't just familiar with and just assumed I think he just hadn't looked into it. He just assumed it was how he does it, like how he crosses across. Yeah, I've got a passport, visa, of course. No, well, no. We were talking about illegal immigration, buddy. And I pushed it a little bit. So you can see me, I was starting to get excited here, and I was like, ooh. This was like, oh, this should get interesting now.
To say right now, you're telling me that you can just fly in from Saudi Arabia, no passport, in
people
thousands, planes full, and everybody lands, just they let them freely and they disperse.
No, not through the airports, but you could walk right across the border and people
from
do
what,
every
Mexico?
Day. From Mexico
right.
or Canada.
You just pretend you're a Mexican that looks like an Arab,
or just walk in, dude.
Come on, man.
You know
it's
it happens
not that fucking
yes.
easy.
This guy's like, seriously goes, oh, this is not good. There may be a physical interaction here. And I knew, I've been watching him train and, do the exercises and do all this stuff, the warm-ups and stuff. Yeah, he's a very, he's an athletic guy. So I knew he's in control of his body and I was no threat. I've been with him all day and goofing off and whatever, just being silly and and also just doing my job. I was out there to do film work on this film. So I wasn't trying to be all trying to get in his business, but I was like, okay, we're going to talk about immigration. I was like, no, you're not going to convince me, dude, by over talking me.
I'm saying if it was open, it's not open.
It is open.
I'm saying if they let everyone in.
You're saying if the government
You're
says,
a little crazy. You know that?
I
That's
know
the problem with talking to you. That's the problem with talking to you. You're not really rational.
Oh, really?
No. You're not really rational. No. You want to be right about all these things.
Okay.
Oh, see, that's a little projection there, Joe. He wants to be right. No, Joe, you want to be right about this. I know I'm right. I don't give a shit one way or the other. I think it's funny that you don't know this stuff and you seem to be informed on those other things. And the way you talk about it so much is like you actually think it sounds like you really know, but maybe you don't know everything, buddy.
You think about these things all the time,
dude,
and you don't listen to anybody's opinion. You just want to be right.
See, that's what he's doing. Oh, and now here's my error. See, this is where I went. This is where I went too far. But he was making me laugh so hard, and he wasn't letting me talk. I was trying to let him know, hey, man, that's all right. And I could tell he was actually getting upset. He was starting to lose a little bit. I was like, whoa, dude. Hey, we can't have a fun discussion here where I disagree with you? I'm not allowed to disagree with the Rogan? No? Because that's where I was like, okay, dude, chill out. I'm just rattling your cage a little bit because you obviously don't know this. It's funny. It was funny to me because I'd watched him on news radio and he seemed like he knew everything about everything. I was like, this one thing was like pretty obvious. Like, the border's not. It's not like it's a solid thing. It's just imaginary, right? I mean, come on, guy. And I was like, couldn't believe that he wasn't like picking up. Like, no, you could just walk across, man. I don't know. I guess like scared him or something. He was like, you could just walk across. And like, yeah, that's why we have to have security services inside the country to like try and figure out if this stuff's happening, because it doesn't just happen by itself. Like, there's things that have to happen. Anyway.
You, dude.
Oh,
Just like,
exactly. Touch me again.
He got so mad, and all I did was I touched him like this, and he was like, "Do it again," and I started laughing. Look, he's like, "Look at this guy here." He's like, "Violence is about to occur. Violence is about to occur."
I'm gonna choke you out on camera.
See, that's where I screwed up. See, I went like this. Boop, because I don't know if you knew this about me. Ultimatums are funny to take. For me, I will actually usually take an ultimatum. That's kind of, I don't know, it's a bloodline thing. I don't like when people give me ultimatums. So I knew the worst thing he was gonna do was like punch me in the face or something. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And I actually at this point forgot that the film was running. I was just goofing off and being silly. But he really got upset. He was actually kind of mad. Okay, so then he got me the chokehold. I'm laughing my ass off because he's just completely overreacting. And he has me in the chokehold. I start to kind of lose consciousness. And I tapped out on his leg. I tapped out on his leg. And then I started dying laughing after that.
What's on now?
You got your gun? You got your gun?
I was gonna get a belt from this one.
You're a good sport, man.
Where's your gun, dude?
No gun, man.
Help yourself
Not
out.
in California.
So he asked me, "Where's your gun, man?" And I was like, no, is it because he already knew I packed all the time, and because I had a concealed handgun license and I carried every day up to this point. But when I was in California, there was no reciprocal there. So he was asking me where my gun was. I'm like, I don't have a gun. What are you talking about? And I'm not even gonna try and wrestle you back, dude. I wasn't been trained. I'm not going to training every day like you. I'm doing yoga and this other shit. I'm still fit. You can tell I've got fitness about me, but I wasn't gonna. I'm not training fighting. No, that's why I carried a gun.
You weren't gonna hurt me. You're totally in control. You're fun, man. You're still blasting up.
So my adrenaline's pumping here quite a bit because I just didn't know what he was gonna do, and he was squeezing hard. Like if I had, I knew that if I had resisted in any way, shape, or form, I just kind of went limp and let him do his thing. Sort of like how cats are. Like if you resist a cat, they'll just start to chafe into you. And I was already thinking this was hilarious, but
That was awesome. You do that again.
look at this guy. He's like, holy shit! I can't believe that just happened. Holy shit! Holy shit!
Dude,
I
that
can't
was
believe
fucking
just
awesome, man. You're fun, man. You're totally blasting. Fuck yeah.
It's crazy. I told you.
A little crazy. A lot of crazy.
See, from right now we learn.
Acid. I'm wondering if he was tripping on acid or something, because he was kind of talking a little bit before this, but he was mostly just watching and going, "What the hell's just happened?" Anyway, that was 2004. It's got 7 billion views. I get nothing from this, but it's a little footnote in history. And here's the most replayed spot right here. Right? All right, guys.